Hey everybody, meteorologist Sarah Gannon here with a first alert weather update for you as we track the threat for a few more showers and thunderstorms here later on tonight. A recap of some of the rainfall that we saw yesterday. A lot of spots in the area here getting some decent rainfall. A lot of spots over 4/10 of an inch. There were a few locations like St. Ansgar, parts of Rochester, Saratoga, Austin, Wyckoff, Elba area seeing 8/10 of an inch or higher. A couple spots, like I mentioned, Elba and Wyckoff, even Saratoga, Iowa, they're picking up over an inch of rainfall. So some beneficial moisture happening in the last 24 hours. Rochester International Airport picking up 4/10. You can see here on the map where some of those higher rainfall amounts fell just off to our west, south of the Mankato area. Certainly picking up some heavy rainfall there last night as those storms rumbled through. So a bit of a break here throughout much of the daytime and early evening hours here. Heading into tonight, though, another chance at some strong to severe thunderstorms may be possible. We do have an alert day in place for today. If you're in southeast Minnesota, right now we have that level 1 out of a level 5 severe threat. Northeast Iowa having a level 2 out of a level 5 severe threat. So our threat for severe storms kind of shifting a little bit further south. So with all the cloud cover that we've seen in a good chunk of the area, kind of limiting, making our threat a little bit more conditional. We have to have everything just right to see that severe activity here later on this evening, but not completely zero. We do still have that threat for some wind, maybe some small hail, and can't quite rule out maybe an isolated tornado or two later on this evening. So as you can see, plenty of cloud cover in place as we check in with future track radar. Things are quiet at this point in time. However, zooming out, you can see down towards the warm frontier, down into portions of Nebraska, Kansas, seeing several polygons there. Noting the orange, the reds indicating severe thunderstorm warnings and tornado warnings in that direction. So we'll be watching this frontal boundary here very closely as we head into the next few hours. But as you can see, our severe storm outlook, southeast Minnesota in that level 1 threat, northeast Iowa in that level 2 threat, level 3 threat just down to our south. So I do think the bulk of that severe threat should stay south of us. However, we still have that possibility of a few isolated strong to severe storms, especially in North Iowa. So we'll track out more of those forecast details here for tonight and what will be much quieter heading into the rest of the work week. That's all ahead in your first alert forecast. Later on the broadcast, more Midwest Access is ahead. Welcome back to Midwest Access. I'm meteorologist Sarah Gannon. We continue to track the threat for a few more showers and thunderstorms later on tonight, even the threat for a few strong to severe storms. So on this first alert day heading into this evening, here's what we are keeping an eye on. We right now have a level 1 out of a level 5 severe threat for southeast Minnesota. Northeast Iowa, though, right now looking at the better chance of seeing severe activity with a level 2 out of a level 5 threat. And should we see those severe storms in the area here this evening, wind, hail, and maybe a couple tornadoes possible as well. So all hazards still in play here for us in the region this evening. So looking outside right now, future track radar, things are quiet, cloudy, so that may limit some of that severe potential for the area. We need that sunshine to help the atmosphere destabilize and become more, add more of that instability. So fuel for those thunderstorms. As we zoom further out, frontal boundary here will kind of be the main lifting force here for these thunderstorms. You can see with that warm front there into Nebraska, Kansas, already seeing a lot of severe storms firing off in that direction, including a couple of tornado warnings at this point in time. So things really looking to see the worst of those storms to our southwest, but we'll expect to see those thunderstorms continuing to grow further north as the night continues. So looking at that severe storm outlook, you can see through portions of Nebraska, Kansas into the far south, far north corner there of Missouri. Level 4 out of a level 5 severe threat. So greater threat for severe activity in that level 3 and level 4 category. Closer to home here, you can see southeast Minnesota in that level 1 threat, northeast Iowa in that level 2 threat. And again, I think our severe threat may be a bit more conditional now here for this evening, but still not completely zero. So taking a look here at timing for this evening, you can see those thunderstorms again firing to our southwest. As we move into later this evening, we'll continue to see those storms start to grow, becoming closer to that I-35 region, I think closer to about 8 o'clock or so, heading into the Rochester region by about 9, 10 o'clock this evening. And ultimately, these thunderstorms continuing to progress through the region, exiting by about midnight, 1 a.m. So on the backside of that, we may see some additional shower and thunderstorm activity. Nothing severe, though, is expected as we head towards Tuesday morning. So if you're heading out the door bright and early tomorrow, maybe a few rumbles of thunder, some showers still lingering. So our severe threats have lowered in severity a bit, but main hazard will still remain wind, followed by some hail, maybe dime to quarter size. Tornadic threat is low, but not completely zero. So once we clear tomorrow, we'll see some drier conditions on the way for your Tuesday. Temperatures also taking a hit back to the 50s for those afternoon high temperatures. Looking at that 10-day forecast, no first alert days here in the next 7 to 10 days. Temperatures a bit cooler here for this week. Beautiful by this weekend, and temperatures rebounding next week.
Check on the weather here during Midwest Access.
We are after tonight's threat for more thunderstorm activity, maybe even a few severe storms possible. We are keeping an eye on quieter conditions for the upcoming week. Temperatures also much cooler for the work week, but warming up next week. Chief Meteorologist Nick Jansen will have all those first alert forecast details for you on this first alert day when we see you at the top of the hour. And we continue to track thunderstorm activity in the area this evening. More on the way as we enter into those early late night hours. More on those first alert forecast details next.
Your first local late news from your trusted news leader. This is KTTC News at 9 on Fox.
Good evening and welcome to KTTC News at 9. Thank you for joining us. I'm Grant Jones. Olivia has the night off. And it has been a first alert day all day long, which is why we get to start the show, joined by meteorologist Sarah Gannon. Sarah, I understand that for several of our counties, rain may be on the forecast. When should I be prepared to stop preparing my umbrella?
Well, the good news is after by tomorrow. No need for that umbrella. We should be looking at some much drier conditions. Looking at future track radar, we've been watching a line of some thunderstorm activity moving through, some stronger cells at time, producing some gusty winds, some small hail, things gradually weakening here, especially with this line. This is that one that we've been watching moving through the Rochester area, I-35 region, now getting towards the Mississippi Riverside, and ultimately we'll be heading further east. But as we zoom further out, we're watching this other line. This is the main line down to our south. So parts of North Iowa may get clipped with some stronger winds, some heavy rainfall, frequent lightning here later on this evening. I think our overall severe threat locally is on the lower side now here for tonight. A lot of that main severe threat has been staying well to the south towards the Des Moines region and further south. So looking at the severe storm outlook, we do have that level 2 threat in portions of North Iowa, but I would expect to see, again, that severe threat really staying just south of the local viewing area. So next few hours, we'll see some rain chances, especially here through about the midnight hour, maybe some lingering showers through that early Tuesday morning commute. But otherwise, gearing up for some cooler temperatures the rest of this weekend, drying conditions as well. So certainly some much needed rainfall happening here between yesterday and now today. So looking forward to a brief chance to dry up.
Drying up is always a good sign after these storms, always a good time to get a little bit cooler.
Yes.
Thank you, Sarah. Appreciate it.
Continuing to track thunderstorm activity across the area this evening. More beneficial moisture on the way in the next few hours. I think a lot of this rain starting to wrap up after about midnight, but we may still see some lingering showers into tomorrow morning's commute. So keeping an eye on that, but gearing up for some cooler and drier conditions throughout the upcoming weeks. We'll talk more about those first alert forecast details next. We've been tracking some much needed moisture here in southern Minnesota and northern Iowa. And this evening, watching one line of thunderstorm activity moving through. Now this has crossed the river into Wisconsin, but we're also keeping an eye on areas south of I-90. Better chance maybe to see a little bit more oomph with these thunderstorms. But at this point in time, I think our overall severe threats on the lower side, better chance for severe activity staying just to our south, more so along the I-80 corridor and south through southern Iowa into portions of Missouri back into Kansas. So as we zoom further out, you can see some additional showers, thunderstorms developing into southwestern Minnesota. We'll see that move through the area here overnight. But at this point in time, we'll watch some of these thunderstorms here through central Iowa kind of shift a little bit more to the northeast. So portions of North Iowa already seeing a little bit of some shower and thunderstorm activity, but nothing severe at this point in time. But you can just see how extensive this line of thunderstorms and severe activity is, stretching all the way back through portions of southern Kansas. So a strong frontal boundary, and you can see where we have that moisture, that fuel for thunderstorms. Looking at dew points, 60s across much of the upper Midwest. Notice though where that frontal boundary is kind of placed behind it, much drier air. So we have some quieter, more comfortable conditions to enjoy heading into the rest of this week. But looking at that severe storm outlook, areas south of us really having that better potential of seeing severe activity again through central southern Iowa back into portions of Missouri and Kansas. Closer to home, We have that level 2 threat in North Iowa, but at this point in time, storms not quite strengthening as we had expected. I think our overall severe threat here at this point in time, very low, but not completely zero. We may see a couple stronger thunderstorms moving through the area here later on tonight. In terms of those overall severe threats, again, tornadic threat very low, wind threats on the dying side. But should we see any stronger thunderstorms, maybe some gusts upwards of 40 to 60 miles per hour. Some small hail has been reported up to pea size, but at this point in time, that hail threat really diminishing. So I think our hail threat is pretty much non-existent here at this point in time. Maybe some pea size hail at best. We'll put things into motion here with Future Track for the rest of tonight. We'll see a few more of those showers, thunderstorms moving through North Iowa here, but I think most of this activity out of here by about midnight, 1 a.m. Then we watch off to the west, some of those redeveloping showers and thunderstorms. We'll see those gradually make their way through the area overnight. So I think by that morning commute time, showers kind of wrapping up and things drying out, especially as we head towards the lunch hour. We'll see the clouds through the morning. By the afternoon, moving out those clouds, so we should be enjoying some nice sunshine here by Tuesday afternoon. Temperatures will be a lot cooler heading into tomorrow. We'll see 50s at best for some high temperatures, and again, that gradual diminishment of those clouds. So overall, cooler, quieter day on tap for Tuesday, coming off of some good moisture here for the area this evening with those thunderstorms. We'll take a look at that 7-day forecast for Mankato. You can see temperatures staying just below average into those 50s for tomorrow, 60s here through the end of the work week. Maybe a chance for some scattered showers come Friday. We'll watch Sunday as well next week, but the weekend looking absolutely fabulous here for the area. Good opportunity to get outside. 10-day forecast for the Rochester area. First alert days in sight here in that 7 to 10-day forecast. But again, temperatures staying much cooler here through the work week. The weekend, fabulous. Maybe some 80s returning next week.
I'm glad to be kind of getting through these storms, but it does feel with the recent activity, we're really getting into storm season.
Yes, certainly in full swing here.
Yeah. All right, Sarah, thank you. We'll be right back.
We certainly are continuing to track those showers and thunderstorms in the area this evening. Maybe a couple lingering showers into tomorrow morning's commute, but a lot drier, a lot quieter and chillier temperatures on the way. We'll see highs mainly into those lower 50s tomorrow. A little breezy. We should manage, though, a little sun by the afternoon. We'll continue to track out those thunderstorm chances for the area here this evening. It's ahead in your first alert forecast.
For sticking with us for this half hour. First alert day means the first thing I get the pleasure of doing is talking with meteorologist Sarah Gannon. Sarah, what should we expect to be seeing from this weather maker coming through?
Well, here through tonight, we may notice some showers, some thunderstorms coming through. I think our overall severe threat at this point on the lower end. And some good news. Yesterday, I think, was busy enough for us in the weather department, and especially folks in North Iowa. So things on our end here tonight, we did see a stronger line of thunderstorms kind of moving through portions of southern Minnesota, now across the river. Now we're going to watch North Iowa. They've had that better potential for some strong to severe activity here today. At this point in time, I think that the ingredients just quite aren't there to give those thunderstorms that oomph to kind of reach that severe criteria. We still have a lot of heavy rainfall, some frequent lightning may be happening as well. You may still hear those rumbles of thunder. Notice towards Waterloo, Iowa, there's some heavy rain, a lot of lightning, but as storms continue to push further north and east, they're just losing that steam. So severe threat, I think, very low for us here now tonight. Maybe some gusty winds, some frequent lightning and heavy downpours, but I think that's about it. The main severe threat has been staying south of our local area along that I-80 corridor towards Des Moines and further south into portions of Missouri, back into Kansas and Nebraska. Notice off to our west here, we do have some redeveloping showers and thunderstorms. Nothing will be severe there, but we'll watch that move through during the overnight, whereas this main line here through North Iowa is kind of our main event here for this evening. Storm Prediction Center does still have that level 2 out of the level 5 severe threat for North Iowa, but again, I think that severe threat's really diminishing here as we continue into this evening, that main severe threat towards I-80 and south. So heading into the rest of tonight, we'll be looking at those showers, thunderstorms, kind of gradually tapering most of that activity out of here by about midnight, 1 a.m. Maybe a few lingering showers possible through that early Tuesday morning commute, but past that, a dry stretch on the way here for the rest of the work weekend. Cooler as well. We'll talk more about those temperatures on the way in your full forecast later on the broadcast.
With these storms, it's always been kind of muggy today and a little bit higher temperatures. I'm very excited to get back down at least a little bit more spring-like temperatures for a little while longer.
Yeah, it was a little summer-like here the last couple of days, especially adding in that humidity, but a little preview of what's in store later this summer.
All right, sounds good, Sarah. Thank you.
We continue to keep an eye on tonight's shower and thunderstorm threat. I think our overall severe concerns very low here at this point in time. Some good news there. We certainly need the rain. We'll take that while we can. Things much cooler heading into Tuesday with highs in the 50s. We should manage a little sunshine there by the end of the day. Gearing up, though, for a quiet, drier week ahead for us in the region. More on those first alert forecast details next. We continue to track shower and thunderstorm activity in the area this evening. A little break in the Rochester area, Mankato area as well. Folks south of I-90, especially into North Iowa, seeing some showers, some thunderstorms happening right now. We're just kind of waiting for a couple different waves of some activity to roll through the area here tonight. I think our overall severe threat at this point in time, pretty low. Maybe some gusty winds at times, but I think that will kind of be about it. So let's take a look here south of I-90. We do have a cluster of some thunderstorm activity in Al-McKee County. Some frequent lightning, some heavy rainfall, maybe some gusty winds with that cell, but most of the severe activity is staying well to our south. You can see much of North Iowa there along the Highway 18 corridor. Looking at some heavy rainfall here at this point in time. I'll zoom out a little bit further and you can see more of that lightning from the Waterloo area south. Severe activity at this point in time staying south of the I-80 corridor. Watch off towards western Minnesota, southwestern Minnesota, seeing some redeveloping showers and thunderstorms. So once this main wave pushes east, we'll gradually watch this redevelopment come in overnight. So a little bit more rain activity possible, not as steady of rainfall as what we're seeing with this main line here along the I-35 corridor. Zooming out a little bit further, you can see how extensive the severe activity stretches down through portions of Missouri, back into Kansas. Things a lot quieter there on the backside of this frontal boundary. So that severe storm outlook south of us is where the main concern for that severe activity is. Still that level 3 threat from southern Iowa down through portions of Kansas here this evening. Closer to home, Storm Prediction Center does still have that level 2 out of a level 5 severe threat over North Iowa. But like I said here tonight, that severe threat, I think, pretty low for us. Maybe some gusty winds, gusts upwards of 30 to 60 miles per hour. But aside from that, I think our severe threat's pretty low here for tonight. So we'll monitor things over the next couple of hours. Future track here, keeping those showers and thunderstorms south of I-90 here through the rest of tonight. And most of this activity out of here by about midnight to 1 a.m. Looking ahead then, the rest of the overnight, we'll watch that secondary batch of some redeveloping shower and thunderstorm activity that will pull through here during those morning commute hours. So by about 7, 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, done with the rain entirely, clouds sticking with us through the lunch hour, and expecting maybe a little clearing possible heading into Tuesday afternoon. Temperatures, though, will be cooler. Much cooler air mass, drier air mass will be in store. So notice how at this point in time we have a lot of 60 degree dew points in the area. Backside 40s and 30s. So much drier, cooler, comfortable air mass expected here, especially for tomorrow where high temperatures will mainly stay in those lower to mid 50s. So a cooler day certainly on tap for tomorrow. We'll take a look at that 7-day forecast. 60s on the way here through the end of the work week for the Mankato area. Some 70s expected by this weekend. We'll monitor a couple additional stray rain chances, but predominantly drier here for the upcoming week. 10-day forecast for Rochester. We'll look at 50s tomorrow, those 60s through the end of the work week, and some 60s and 70s this weekend. 80s back in the forecast next week.
All right, Sarah, thank you. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Nick. Here's one more look at that 10-day forecast. Looking at a pretty beautiful stretch of weather. We certainly needed the rainfall here the last 2 days. Not so much severe weather, so glad to see that things not strengthening as we had originally expected to tonight. Things certainly chilly tomorrow. We'll see highs only in the 50s, 60s here through the end of the work week. We'll track out a pretty beautiful weekend for us in southern Minnesota and northern Iowa. 60s and 70s on the way. A chance at some 80s next week. So a little spring, a little summer, mainly dry, but a couple more rain chances sprinkled in there. So overall, a pretty decent forecast ahead.
That's going to do it for us here at KTTC News at 9. Have a great night, everybody. We'll see you.